Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? Welcome back for another video on the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly update with our Wealthsimple Trade portfolio that focuses on Canadian stocks and more specifically Canadian dividend stocks. So like usual, we jump inside the portfolio. We'll start off with giving you guys a portfolio update. I'll show you guys my entire portfolio. Then we'll jump inside the portfolio. I'll show you guys what stocks I'm buying today, and then I'll give you guys an update on the dividend income, and I'll show you guys what stocks I actually hold inside my portfolio as well. So we got lots of stuff to cover in today's video, so stay tuned. Let's jump inside the portfolio really quick. We'll do a quick little update and then we'll take it from there. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the portfolio update part of the video. Inside this part of the video, we will cover the portfolios and I'll show you guys how our portfolio has been doing. Quick little update, then we'll go inside and I'll show you guys the stocks I'm buying today, and I'll give you guys an update on some of the dividend income and stuff like that. So the first thing to cover here will be the total value of the overall summary of my portfolio. We have about $100,000 here on Wealthsimple Trade, spread across 3 different accounts, mostly just 2. I would say the TFSA is the biggest account with $88,000, kind of hovers around $90,000 these days. And then we have the personal account, which is a little bit of an extension of the TFSA. And then we have an RSP with a little bit of money in, which I'm looking to build up in the future. First is going to be maxed out my TFSA, and then my fiance's TFSA as well. She does have an account at Wealthsimple Trade, has about, I would say, $10,000 or so in simple ETFs. So that's going to be our goal, is to also kind of max out her portfolio over time, and I am looking to find a solution where I can update her portfolio on these videos as well. But the first thing for now is we'll just cover mine for the time being. So over the past day, the TFSA is down -1% for today. It's Friday, September 16th at the time of doing this video, so down a little bit today. Over the past week, we are down -2%, so a bit of a trend. It's about $2,000 or so. The past month, we are down -6%, so that little gain that we had, the little jump up, looks like we're kind of going back down again, keeps going back and forth. Last 3 months, we are up 5%, so a bit of an increase and kind of dipping down a little bit. Still, I'd say a bit of an increase overall over the past couple months, but that big kind of gain we got kind of dipped down a little bit. But nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. We're going to be buying stocks regardless, and if I can get them on sale, why not? And here's the 1-year picture of the TFSA, which gives you an idea of how my portfolio has been doing. A bit of a dip in April, like everybody else did, and now we're kind of just going a little bit up and down since then. But all-time return for the TFSA is up 6%, which is $4,000, and the personal account should more or less be the same. All-time returns is, I guess, about 0, sitting at 0, kind of breaking even with my Canadian stocks. The personal account is more focused on Canadian stocks inside the portfolio, so a lot of good quality Canadian stocks with a tiny bit of US stocks, but it is very, very much focused on, those Canadian dividend companies to be very tax efficient. So let's jump inside the TFSA. I got a little bit of money to invest today, and I'll show you guys what stocks I'm buying. And before we go any further in the video, I just want to do a quick little shout out to Blossom Social. They recently updated their app. They add a lot of cool features, so you guys can go in here, you can share your portfolio, you can see all the things that people are posting on here. It's a really cool platform, completely free to sign up. If you guys do want to sign up, there is a link in the description of this video. You guys can use referral code Robin, and you guys will get a small little bonus for signing up. But the other thing is, you're going to take a peek here, is the cool thing is you can look at post only, so you can see what people are posting here on Blossom Social. You can go to trade only to see what people are actually buying and selling inside their portfolios. You can actually see, like, these are legit accounts that are hooked up to their brokerages, and you're actually seeing the different buys or the different sells, and people can share their thoughts and opinions on this. And you can also learn cool things about stocks. You can go to the learn feature and you can actually take a peek at different stocks, and you can actually earn some money by doing some little surveys and quizzes. And last but not least, if you guys want to check out my portfolio here on Blossom Social, you can actually see what stocks I actually invest into. You can take a peek at my portfolio pie here. You can go the 1-day return and weekly returns. You can also see my activity. I do like to share different things here. I share some of my trades. I definitely share my different thoughts and all that. So I do post content on here, and of course you guys can actually look into the numbers and see every single stock I hold in my portfolio. You can see the returns and whatnot. So if you guys want to check that out, check it out on Blossom Social. Like usual, there is a link in the description of this video. Alright, so for today's video, I'm going to be focusing on a single stock inside my portfolio. Like I mentioned earlier, I put $200 inside my fiance's TFSA today. She's going to be putting it into her ETFs. We do a basic approach with her ETF approach. She holds VDY, VFV, and HYLD. We will be expanding a few things over time, but she's just a really simple ETF focused approach. So she put $200 inside her TFSA, and then I have $100 here inside my TFSA, and I'm going to be buying a single stock. We're going to be looking at Canadian stock called AQN, Algonquin Power and Utilities. This is a renewable utilities-based company. They do a little bit of everything. The company itself has a pretty good dividend yield. Take a peek here. I'll show you guys so we can take a peek at some of this stuff. So yield currently right now is 5%. I'm just going to type it into Google just to double check to make sure the yield is actually accurate. So we have 5.25% according to Google. So a pretty high yield company. In terms of growth, the company has done well. The past couple years has been a little bit not so good, and there's a lot of things that happen. But I do believe in the long term of this company. They have very good financials. They have tons of room to cover the dividends for future dividend increases. They also have very good dividend increases, and even though their growth hasn't been the best over the past, I'd say 2 or 3 years, over the past 10 years, they've had tremendous growth. So it really is like a growth-based company with a dividend-based company, and there's a lot of cool things. And of course, renewable energy is kind of the way of the future, right? A lot of people are talking about that going to be the next big thing, and I think Algonquin kind of has a lot of that covered, and it is just a good utilities company. So it is one of the main utility companies that I hold inside my portfolio. So I'm going to be putting about $100 of Algonquin Power and Utilities inside my portfolio, and that's going to help to kind of give us a good, decent yield, but also give us potential for stock growth as well. I'm a big fan of companies that kind of do a little bit of both, have that stock appreciation potential, but also have good dividends and dividend growth potential. And I do kind of pick stocks that are roughly, sometimes favored towards yield, maybe sometimes favored towards growth, but I try to have a balance inside my portfolio. So let me know what you guys think of AQN. I guess I'll give you guys a quick little update before we finish up about how much AQN I actually hold inside my portfolios. So I currently have 62 shares inside my TFSA. That's about $1,000. My average cost price is $20 Canadian, represents about 1.23% of my TFSA. So not very much, obviously. Kind of want to bring that up to be about 5% or so of my overall portfolio. And I have about 5% inside my personal account, which is more what I'm looking for. So I definitely got to buy more inside my TFSA. Inside my personal account, it is down at negative 6% in terms of stock appreciation. And inside my TFSA, it's down a lot more because we held it a lot longer. But this is just growth, not to include dividends. Speaking of which, in the next part of the video, I'm actually going to show you guys how much dividends all my stocks have paid for me since I first started investing inside this portfolio. So I'm currently using a tool called Wealthica. I don't know if you guys have heard this tool. It's basically a portfolio tracker. You can hook it up to Wealthsimple Trade. I've hooked it up to there, and you can track some different things inside your portfolio. They have free plans, they have paid plans. I'm just using it to track some cool things because you can actually track the difference between your dividends and your gains, which I really think is super cool. Not a lot of portfolio trackers can kind of show that, but I wanted to show you guys in terms of revenue and stock appreciation, because we talk about dividend stocks, a lot of people, or even like income stocks, or whatever it is. A lot of people focus on the stock growth, but they don't focus on the compounding nature of dividends or what distributions, whatever it is, and how it affects the return. So on the left side here, we have the stock tickers. Hopefully you guys can see this. The text is big enough. I zoomed in a little bit for you. We have the amount here. We have the quantity. We have the revenue. So this revenue tab right here is how much these stocks have paid us in dividends since I first started this portfolio in the beginning of 2020. So this is pretty much all the revenue income by stock. Kind of cool, right? So we can see VFE paid us $657, VDY $1,600, pretty much the bulk of our dividend income, TD $300, HYLD $176, and then some other ones here going downwards. So pretty cool tool. I thought that was pretty interesting to see. And then you can see the total gain that includes the dividends plus the stock appreciation. So if you look at the stock appreciation, we can see that obviously some stocks, it looks like they're down, but if you factor in the revenue, it does make a big difference, right? We can see with total gain here, VFE is down -4%. We can see HYLD is down -17%. The one on the right side is the stock appreciation. So if we look at stock appreciation, but if we add the dividends, you can see that with stock appreciation with HYLD, right? The covered call ones that everybody talks about. The big beef a lot of people have is that the stock appreciation has not grown, or it goes down a lot, whatever it is, right? But if you factor in the dividends, it actually does add a lot to the total return. Now, obviously, everything's down quite a bit, so we need a longer period of time of data, but we can see how it greatly affects the return, right? Even a stock like VDY, it says it's only up 8%, but if we include dividends, it's actually up 14%. That's almost double. So it makes a pretty big difference, especially if you have companies that have higher yield. Same with AQN, we can see down -10%, but it's actually up 5%, no, -5% if you include the dividends. So it's always important to take note of this, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of tools that really do this in a good way. So when I found out about this kind of feature, it was a cool thing. So you guys can check it out if you guys want and kind of see the difference between the revenue and the stock appreciation. But I thought it was a cool thing to show you guys, and it's also a good thing to consider when it comes to factoring in your overall return, which I think is one of the most important things. And like usual, we'll cover the dividends to close out the video so you guys can see how our portfolios have been growing over time. I'm just going to do mine right now. Once again, I'm working on a way to incorporate my girlfriend's or my fiance's, I should get used to saying that all the time, my fiance's portfolio to make this a little bit more easier. But right now I'm just going to focus on mine, and over time as hers grows, since we're trying to max out her TFSA as well, I'd like to add that so you guys can see an overall snapshot of all of our portfolios, because you know, when you do get married and when you have a partner, it makes a significant difference on your ability to save, to invest, and to basically, you know, get to financial freedom or whatever it is your goal. So it's important to factor that in. I think it's super important. So September we have dividends from Canadian Tire, Fortis, VDY paid us some big dividends, right? $114 and $21. HYLD gave us, and HDIV gave us their big dividends as well. And we can see that with HYLD, we're now sitting at about $26 inside of our TFSA and $12 inside of a personal account. So it really is starting to add up. And once again, the cover calls are just used to increase a little bit of yield, and over time we'll kind of add them a little bit more, but we're always going to have a mixture portfolio. I'm a big fan of it, but you know what? I like to have a little bit more higher yield, just because why not use the money as you go? I don't want to wait till I'm like, you know, 50, 60 years old, if I even get there, to actually use my money. So we're trying to make a more balanced approach here. And if we go inside our portfolio, we can see the returns on a monthly basis. August, we hit I hit $192 in dividends. Fiance's portfolio, her TFSA hit $15 total together. We made $207. September so far, I only got mine added up right now, but we got $188. So we're already almost at August dividend income, and we're about halfway through the month, so it's looking like a pretty good month. And then of course October we will hit another good quarterly month, because all of our quarterly big ETFs like VFB and stuff will pay out, and of course we're reinvesting our dividends, we're putting more money in, so every single month it's always growing. And you can see that since the beginning of time, when we first started this portfolio, you know, we weren't making a lot, just a couple bucks, but we reinvested it, we kept it growing, and our total dividends to date is about $3,000. That's $3,000, just under $4,000. And if we take the 3-month average, it's about $250 or so. So you know, it's slowly getting there. It's getting there, taking time, but we're getting there. And last but not least, guys, I'll do a quick little update on the things I've been buying with my dividends. So if you guys watch the channel, you know I like to take some of the dividend income kind of for fun, right? We were kind of pretending and using it to buy some things, because as we transition to the later stage in our life and that dividend income starts growing and increasing, we're going to be using to fund different things. And for me, this has been a big eye-opening experience to kind of see what, you know, investing, it can change your life. As long as you take that money, you're frugal with it, and you make it matter, you can really get a lot of cool things. And if you take a step back and you know, kind of remember where we all came from and where things used to be from a basic perspective, it can add a lot of cool things into your life. So, you know, I made a big spreadsheet of everything we've been buying with our dividends. So, you know, you can take a peek at this if you guys want. But one of the big things I bought recently this month, and the things that are not cheap, is actually bought some weights. I bought some weights, I bought some dumbbells. I've always been an active guy. I've always been fit, but I've never really actually, like, you know, put in a lot of effort to get like really big or strong. So that's one thing I wanted to do. And I'm a pretty skinny guy. I've always been skinny, which that's just the way I am, and I don't really care. It's actually been a benefit as you get older. But one thing I have been wanting to do is actually, you know, get in shape and try something new. So I bought some weights. We bought 2 35-pound weights. I do have some dumbbells. I don't know if you guys can see them on my camera. They're on the bottom of my bookshelf, so I have been using those, but I've actually have progressed pretty quickly to some higher weights for some exercises. And these are pretty expensive. So dumbbells typically are about, like, I remember them used to being about $1 or $2 per pound, but they're actually really went up in price. So on Amazon, the Amazon basic ones here, these ones are really good. I bought the 35s, 2 35s, they're about $64 each, so it cost me about $120. Sounds expensive, but you know, use them for a long time. And I'm probably not going to get, like, I might get 40 ones too, but for 240s, like even the 40 ones are only $60. It's actually relatively cheap. So definitely, if you guys are thinking about buying your dumbbells, check out an Amazon. They're actually pretty good. They have a bit of that rubbery smell at first, but you know, it goes away, and they're really solid, good, high quality dumbbells. And you know, they're never going to break or nothing like that, because they're dumbbells. So definitely take the peek out. But I just want to give you guys a quick little update on kind of what I've been doing in my free time. Alright guys, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like usual, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hope you guys enjoy yourself a good week. Hope you guys are having some good weather where you are. Take care, have a good one, and I'll see you guys later.